Good evening to all our wonderful listeners and cherished well vines joining us from near and far across the globe. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, your trusted midweek space for conversations on health, balance, and living well right here on AM Radio. I'm your host, Roxanne, and it's always a pleasure sharing this special time with you. Here on this show, we see wellness as more than just staying alive. It's about taking care of your body, refreshing your brain, and embracing habits that helps you to live fuller and a healthier lifestyle. That's why every Wednesday we dive into meaningful discussions, helpful health tips, and insightful ideas that empowers us to live stronger, smarter, and more balanced lives. So get comfortable, keep that dial locked, and stay where you are. Because Wellness Wednesday is only just beginning. We'll take a break and be right back.
Welcome to Accra Metropolitan University, a modern university driven by innovation and flexible learning. At Accra Met, we offer a friendly learning environment with study options designed around your life, online, in person, and weekend classes. Choose from an array of programs in business, law, education, sustainable governance, and more. From bachelor's and master's degrees to our PhD in leadership and sustainable governance. Take the next step in your future today. Apply now at akramet.edu.gh or call or WhatsApp 054 716 9761. Accra Metropolitan University, empowering minds, shaping futures.
Welcome once again. You are tuned in to AM Radio, and today we are discussing an important issue affecting many individuals, especially young people, and that is drug or substance abuse. First, let's understand what a drug is. Now, a drug is any substance that, when taken into the body, changes the way the body or brain functions. Drugs can be used for medical treatment, yes, but when they are used incorrectly or excessively, they can become harmful. Now, drugs are generally categorized in two ways. We have based on law and based on effects. Let's look at based on law. Some drugs are legal, meaning they can be used under medical supervision or within regulated limits. Example include prescribed medications. So others are illegal. We have legal drugs and illegal drugs, meaning the law prohibits their use because of their harmful effects and potential for abuse. Two, based on their effects on the body. Now, drugs can be classified according to how they affect the brain and body. We have stimulants. This increase alertness and energy. We also have depressants. These drugs slow down brain activity and body functions. And we have hallucinogens. They alter perceptions, mood, and the way you think. Some substances are more commonly abused than others. One major example is alcohol. Many experts describe alcohol as a gateway substance, meaning it often opens the door to the abuse of other drugs. If you are able to take in alcohol incorrectly or excessively, that means it is likely that you will be able to also take other drugs. There's also the misuse of prescription drugs, such as tramadol. Tramadol is a pain medication, okay? It can ease your pain and all, but then when you take it excessively or incorrectly, it becomes addictive. Yes. Now let's look at why people abuse drugs. People abuse drugs for several reasons. Okay, we have peer pressure, we have stress or emotional pain. Some take it out of curiosity or experimentation, and then the desire to escape problems. You see someone drinking alcohol, and when you ask the person, oh, why are you doing this to yourself? They tell you, I'm going through so many problems, I want to escape them, that's why I'm taking the alcohol. Forgetting that when you stop taking it, the problems don't cease. They come back, yes. And there's influence from friends or social circles. When you join people who like to drink a lot and abuse other drugs, you become one of them. That's why we always say, show me your friend and I'll show you your character. Sometimes individuals begin with casual use, but gradually become dependent without even realizing it. There are certain warning signs that may indicate drug abuse, and I'm going to take you through them. One common sign is a sudden change in relationships where a person may withdraw from family or long-term friends and begin to associate himself or herself with a completely different group. Other signs may include changes in behavior or mood, poor academic or work performances. If you look at yourself and you know, oh, at first I used to be very good academically, and all of a sudden, after you've indulged in substance abuse, you find yourself failing almost all the time, then you should know that it is a sign that you are abusing a drug or a substance and you have to put a stop to it. Also, secrecy or unusual habits. Some also lost interest in previously enjoyed activities. Now, let's go to drug misuse and self-medication. Another growing concern is self-medication. Self-medication occurs when individuals take drugs without professional or medical advice. You might be feeling pains, you might be going through something that you think deserves a cure. Some of us feel it's okay to take drugs that our parents have taken, forgetting that they were diagnosed with a certain disease, and then a doctor or a professional health expert recommended or prescribed the drug. We forget this, and when we are also having some signs and symptoms like headaches or stomach aches and all, then our parents will be like, oh, menu medro way, and call you, and so then you also drink it. That is when self-medication comes in, and it's very serious. Okay, while it may seem harmless at first, repeated misuse of medication can lead to dependency. It can also lead to addiction and serious health complications. Now, drug abuse has several serious consequences. We have legal issues. As I said earlier, some drugs are illegal, and possessing or using them can result in arrest, prosecution, and imprisonment. If you are a Ghanaian, or you are not a Ghanaian, you're a foreigner, and you are in Ghana right now, and any security personnel finds cocaine or weed in your bag, in your pocket anyway, you can be imprisoned, you can be arrested for it, because cocaine is an illegal drug. Okay, there are some specific people who are allowed to bring some amount of cocaine into the country for medical reasons. So if you are caught having some on you, so far as it is illegal, you'll be arrested. Because one, you are not a doctor. Two, you are not using it for medical purposes. So why are you having it? Do you now get a picture? Yes. Now, let's look at health issues too. Drug abuse can damage major organs and increase the risk of mental health disorders. Yes, when you go and buy a cigarette, okay, on the box, it indicates clearly that when you take it in excess, your kidneys will turn black and they might fail you. But people still use it. Your kidneys will be at risk, your lungs will be at risk, and a lot of harm is done to the brain. But people still take it because if it's on saturated. Okay, let's move on. Now, the social issues. Again, substance abuse can affect family relationships, education, employment, and social life. Over time, repeated use can lead to drug use disorder. That's the DUD. It is a medical condition where a person becomes unable to control their drug, and then it causes harmful consequences. Now, at first, You used to take the drug and then you know how to go about it, you know your limits and all, but then repeated use over time will turn the drug against you, and the drug will tell you when and how to take it. That means you have no control over the drug anymore. That's the DUD. Now, drugs have a powerful impact on the brain. Different parts of the brain control different functions. Now, we have the frontal lobe, which is responsible for decision making and judgment. Our temporal lobe is also involved in memory and emotional responses. Our occipital lobe processes visual information. Now we have the cerebellum, which controls balance and coordination, and then the brainstem, which regulates breathing, heart rate, and other vital functions. Now, substance abuse interferes with all these brain regions, affecting thinking, behavior, and physical coordination. I mentioned the temporal lobe that involves the memory and emotional responses. Now, when you start abusing drugs, your emotional response will be so different. Yes, that's what will happen. Now you have memory loss and all. I also mentioned that the occipital lobe processes visual information. And you know anything visual involves the eye. So if you abuse drugs, your sight might become impaired. And it will affect you, not me. Even though it affects, your social life, your friends, and family relationships, we will not feel the pain the way you will feel it. And that is how bad drug abuse can be. Now, drug often follows a progression, okay? It starts with experimentation. This is the first stage where a person tries a drug out, like for the first time, out of curiosity or peer pressure or the desire to experience something new, obi wo hɔ a, ne ho tɔ no. The person doesn't have any problem. But then out of curiosity, let me see what cigarettes can do. I want to know what cocaine can do. Let me eat weed toffee and see what will happen to me. Now, at this point, the individual does not necessarily intend to continue using the drug, but it starts from somewhere and ends somewhere. For instance, let's use someone called Kelvin. Please, if you're called Kelvin, I'm sorry, but then that's the name that came in mind, okay? For instance, Kelvin attends a party where friends are drinking alcohol and then smoking cannabis, and then out of curiosity or pressure from the friends, he decides to try it like just once. Remember, Kelvin doesn't drink, but then he went to a party, friends are drinking, and he wants to try it just once to see what it feels like. Then we move on to the occasional use. At this stage, the person begins to use the substance once in a while, okay? They may believe that they are still in control because the use is not frequent. Now, let's use Kelvin again. So Kelvin, who first tried alcohol at a party, now drinks only during weekend outings or special occasions with friends. So anytime friends meet and Kelvin is around, he drinks. It's a special occasion, it's a party, he drinks. Now, let's move on. I hope you are following. Let's move on to the regular use. Here, the substance starts to become part of the person's routine. The individual may begin using the drug frequently to relax, cope with stress, or improve mood. Now, Kelvin again. Kelvin, who initially drank alcohol only on weekends, now drinks almost every evening after work to deal with stress. Are you getting the picture that I'm trying to paint? Thank you for following. Let's proceed to the next stage, which is the risky use. At this stage, drug use begins to create problems in the person's life. The individual may start ignoring responsibilities, taking dangerous doses, or engaging in risky behaviors while under the influence. Kelvin again. Now it means Kelvin now takes alcohol to stay energized, but then drives while impaired, putting himself and others at risk. You see, he started by experimenting what alcohol feels like when taken in. Then he moves on to another stage where he takes it, on special occasions. At a point, it becomes part of his life, and if he doesn't take it every evening after work, he feels so stressed out and he doesn't know what to do to himself. Now, Kelvin now takes alcohol excessively. And imagine someone who is drunk driving. And let's say his friends are like, "Oh, Kelvin, can you please drop us at the junction?" And he says yes while he's drunk. What do you think will happen? He's putting himself and other people at risk. Let's continue. Stage 5, the dependency or addiction. This is the most serious stage. Now, the body and brain become used to the drug, and the person feels unable to function normally without it. They may experience cravings and withdrawal symptoms when they try to stop. So, Kelvin, who needs higher doses every day just to feel normal, if he does not take it, he may feel restless, anxious, sick, or unable to concentrate. So you see, drug abuse or substance abuse often does not happen suddenly. Okay? It usually progresses step by step, and before you realize, what may begin as experimentation can gradually develop into a serious health problem. Before we conclude, it is important to reflect on 2 questions. Question number 1, who is your friend? The people you surround yourself with can influence your choices and behavior, and there's no doubt about that. Question number 2, who has influence on you? Positive influence can guide you towards healthy decisions, whilst negative influence can lead you down harmful paths. Choose friends who encourage growth, discipline, and healthy life. Remember, the goal of this discussion is education and awareness. Substance abuse does not only affect the individual, it affects families, it affects communities, and society as a whole. It can affect the nation as a whole. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, please seek professional help and support. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Health Awareness segment. Take care of your health and stay tuned.
We dey learn, we dey groove, we dey make the city move. From the class to the block, we dey keep it true. Every talk, every jam, every heartbeat tune. We dey light up the youth from noon to noon.
Acclame Radio, we elevate the mind. Buy a mind, shaping future every time.
Acclame Radio, we on your line. Buy a mind, shaping future every time. Go AM, we dey run the town. Acclame Radio, turn it up now.
Buy a mind.
We are back. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is the Innovation Hub segment. Here we explore ideas and developments that introduce new ways of solving problems or addressing needs. This week, a teenage girl from Limpopo turned a personal safety concern into something practical. She designed a small earpiece that looks ordinary but is built to respond quickly in dangerous situations. Instead of drawing attention, the device works quietly. Slow but sure devices. Yeah. With a simple trigger, it can capture an image and share the wearer's location with selected contacts, making it easier for someone to step in or track where help is needed. Now, she developed it while still in school, and the idea gained attention for how directly it responds to everyday safety risks, especially for people who often move alone. It's one of those solutions that doesn't try to be flashy, but then it's just useful when it matters most. Her work has been recognized locally and continues to stand out as a reminder that practical ideas can come from anywhere at any age. Let's watch this.
South African teen innovator Bohlale Mphahlele has developed a life-saving, alerting earpiece, a discreet wearable that looks like a simple earring but packs serious safety tech. Designed to help combat the country's high rates of gender-based violence, the device lets wearers press a hidden button to silently alert police and trusted contacts, send live GPS location, and even capture photos of attackers to aid identification and evidence gathering. Her invention won recognition at a national science expo, and she's now working to turn it into a real product through her company Mphahlele Alerts, while continuing her tech studies.
Want more stories that shape our world? Subscribe to JTEM's news and follow us on all social media platforms for more insights and daily updates.
All right, let's pause briefly to acknowledge the institution helping to develop the next generation of innovative minds. Wellness Wednesday is proudly sponsored by Accra Metropolitan University. At Accra Met, raw talent is discovered, refined, and transformed into generational trailblazers. It is not luck, it's the power of training. Apply now and be part of the experience. We are located at Spintex, Bachona District. For any information, please call us on 0547 169 761 or visit our website at www.accramet.edu.gh. Accra Metropolitan University, empowering minds, shaping future.
Welcome to Accra Metropolitan University, a modern university driven by innovation and flexible learning. At Accra Met, we offer a friendly learning environment with study options designed around your life, online, in person, and weekend classes. Choose from an array of programs in business, law, education, sustainable governance, and more. From bachelor's and master's degrees to our PhD in leadership and sustainable governance. Take the next step in your future today. Apply now at accramet.edu.gh or call or WhatsApp 054 716 9761. Accra Metropolitan University, empowering minds, shaping futures.
Dearest Worldvines, welcome back. This is Marching with Ghana segment. Last Wednesday on Marching with Ghana, I mentioned that this week we will turn our attention to our traditional values and how they continue to shape our society in these present times. So today we will talk about the cultural principles that have guided Ghanaian communities for generations. Now, what's our traditional values? Traditional values are the beliefs, customs, and moral principles passed down from one generation to another. They are the foundation of many Ghanaian societies and influence how people live, interact, and make decisions within the community. One of the most important traditional values in Ghana is respect. There is no Ghanaian who is disrespectful. Correct me if I'm wrong. Respect for elders, leaders, and authority figures has always been a central part of our culture. It encourages discipline and promotes harmony within families and communities. Another important value is communal living. Traditionally, communities work together to support one another. People share responsibilities, celebrate achievements together, and help those in need. There is also the value of hospitality. Ghanaians are widely known for their warm and welcoming nature. Visitors are often treated with kindness, generosity, and respect. Finally, honesty and integrity are value traits guiding individuals to act responsibly and maintain trust within their communities, even in today's modern world. These traditional values continue to influence many aspects of Ghanaian life. They shape the way families raise children, the way we resolve conflicts, and even how leaders are expected to serve their people. Traditional values also play an important role in preserving cultural identity, helping younger generations to stay connected to their heritage and history. However, as society becomes more globalized, some of these values face challenges. Modern lifestyles, technology, and changing social trends sometimes create a gap between traditional practices and contemporary life. This raises an important question. How can we preserve our cultural values while still embracing progress and development? As we reflect on this topic today, it is important to remember that traditional values are not just customs of the past. They are guiding principles that can help strengthen families, communities, and the nation as a whole. As we continue marching with Ghana, let us appreciate the cultural foundations that have helped shape who we are as a people. By understanding and respecting these values, we can move forward while still honoring the traditions that built our society. We can still move forward. This has been Marching with Ghana. Next week, God willing, we are going to talk about our symbols and their meanings. Until next time, let's continue to celebrate our culture. Stay tuned for more.
We dey learn, we dey groove, we dey make the city move. From the class to the block, we dey keep it true. Every talk, every jam, every heartbeat tune. We dey light up the youth from noon to noon.
Accra Radio, we elevate the mind. By a mind, shaping future every time.
Accra Radio, we on your line. Buy a mind, shaping future every time. Go AM, we dey run the town. Accra Radio, turn it up now.
By a mind.
Shaping future, baby.
All right, welcome to the Word Flex segment where we expand our vocabularies, learn new words, refine the way we communicate, and make daily language more enjoyable and engaging. Our Word Flex word for the week is obfuscate. Obfuscate. It's a verb. To obfuscate means to deliberately make something unclear, confusing, or difficult to understand. Examples. 1. The report seemed designed to obfuscate the facts rather than clarifying them. 2. Politicians sometimes obfuscate to avoid answering tough questions directly. Synonyms of the word include confuse, blur, cloud, hide, complicated, mislead. And with that, the 21st edition of Wellness Wednesday comes to an end. Shout outs to my producers. Thank you to Abdul Hakim Tipsinar, Mixtick, The Romantic Rasta, Kwame Apex, Greener, and Nathaniel Kwe. Shout outs to my sponsors and our beloved Wellvines. Join us next week, same time, same day, same radio station. Bye.